Good morning, everyone. Alright, here we are. Update from yesterday. What we did is, as you can see, we added a complete countertop to where there was not one. We recycled a cabinet that they had already, and then we added the leg and everything. So remember, installing countertop is easy. Measure it up, level your post that's on the wall so for your support, screw it in, let it dry, apply your countertop, wood glue, secure it, let it dry. Apply your backsplash and then all your grout and everything there. Let it dry. So this is dried overnight. So what we're going to do today is we're going to concentrate on the cabinetry today. We're going to add a fresh coat of paint. We're going to add some hardware, some hinges, and all of that. Now remember, when you're painting your cabinets, that you want a gloss finish. There's no telling how explosive your cooking's going to be. You cannot clean and wipe down a flat paint. So always remember, keep it to a gloss, and it's going to be real simple. I found some packs for 10 bucks, some hardware, really great brush nickel. So we're going to add that in here and maybe try to get a little coat of paint on the wall as well. So we're going to freshen everything up with some new white on the trim, the doors, everything. Okay, hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so as you can see, I have removed all the cabinet doors from the upper level because I'm replacing all the hardware, hinges, and adding knobs. So what I've done is I'm going to keep them white, but I just did a little sanding because, as you can see, from where the old hinges were and everything else. So I'm just going to go through and do a roller coat of white, and then you go back over it with a paintbrush so that you don't get any lines or the pops and stuff like that that you normally get with a roller. So here we go. All the doors are over here. I'll remove the hardware and then add new hardware and mount it correctly. Okay, so as you can see, I have actually gotten some of the doors back on and some of the hinges. When you're dealing with older cabinetry and you're repainting and you're doing new hinges and new hardware, this is going to be your best friend, leveler. Some of these cabinet doors were not level when I came in, so what I've done is, when I took everything off before I put a paint on the cabinets, I filled in all the holes with wood putty and all of that. You'll be fine. I added the new hardware, which lined up with the same holes that were on the door, but on the actual cabinets themselves, they did not line up, which I didn't want them to be. I want to go through, I want to make sure everything's level, everything's the same, everything's unified, especially with us adding hardware to the doors, which were non-existent before. Everything really, really needs to line up. Best friend. When it comes to painting your cabinet doors, it's the same as the cabinets themselves. Start with a roller, and what you'll do is roll it on, depending on, this is pretty much, the cabinets are already white, so all we're doing is just freshening them up, adding a little facelift to them, calling it done. I'm going to do it a little heavier, just because I can, and that's the way I want it. So once you get that on, you don't want those funky marks from your roller, so take your paintbrush, come back through and just start top to bottom, bottom to top, and just kind of glide over. You just want it to remove all of, there we go, all of those roller strokes. Get back up in there with your paintbrush, get all your little crevices in, make it smooth, make it pretty, make it lovely. Now you may have to repeat depending on how many coats. Primer, I was going over white with white anyway, so it's not a big deal. But if you're going from a wood tone to a white, or whatever color you're going to do, always use a primer, okay? Hopefully this helped with you get rid of your paint strokes and do all that and make your cabins fabulous. Hey everyone, welcome back. What we're going to do is recap real quick before I continue moving on with what we're going to do next in the kitchen. Okay? So what we've done so far is we've installed a brand new countertop here where there was nothing. Always remember, go up underneath, do your brace support first, level everything out. We did a leg. We did some great molding around the metal so you don't see it anymore. Put the countertop on, let everything dry. Then we applied the backsplash to everything, and then did our grout in our edge sealer. This has been drying for a couple days. While this was going on, came over here and I removed all cabinet doors, took off all the old hinges that were painted over like 500 times. There were no knobs or hardware pulls on these cabinets. So once you remove the doors, always remember where the hardware goes on the inside of the door, write a number so you don't lose track of what cabinet door goes where. Make sure they're level and all that. Now when I took these hardware off, I had to re-level the doors because there were different hardware went in a different spot. So always remember that. Label the doors, you'll be fine. I didn't have a lot of cabinet doors here, so it didn't take me too long and it wasn't that bad. Primer coat, if you're going over wood, you're going to sand first, add some primer, and then 2 to 3 layers of paint. As you can see, these cabinets look brand new. They came out really, really, really good. I added a backsplash to this countertop that was already pre-existing all the way around, and everything looks amazing. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to paint the walls. As you can see, they're just the block gray. What we're actually doing here is we're prepping this house for a sale. This is all for just sprucing up, making better, not putting a lot of money into it, but what can we do to get the value out of it? Adding this countertop, double the counter space in this kitchen, which is huge, especially in this family home. So what we're going to do is going to paint the wall a light gray, which is going to be beautiful in here. We're going to add on this big blank wall here, we're going to add some floating shelves. And then what I'm going to do is add a small bit of quarter round to each of them so there'll be actual dish and plate holders or just a shelf either way. She has a beautiful collection of platters that are white on that gray wall. They're going to be stunning. What we're going to do down here is this cabinet was pre-existing and it's different from the actual kitchen cabinets. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint this a different color. We're not going to keep it white. It's going to be a light green. It's going to be the same color on this backsplash, this faux tile backsplash. And I'm going to go with a super high gloss, that way it's easy to clean and maybe give the effect of maybe having glass tile instead of just this beige blah stuff. Now this up here is the fan. Doesn't look real good now that we have all the white and everything is crisp and clean. So what I'm going to do is I bought spray paint that looks like hammered metal. And we're going to do that, a brushed nickel hammered metal. Tape it off, bag it, we're going to be fine. It's going to look great. Here's all this. Next time you see it, it'll hopefully be painted. Welcome back. Okay, I've got 2 coats of paint up. You always do 2 coats. I don't care if it says it covers or not, but always do 2 coats. So as you can see, here we go, we'll get this right. We got some gray. I got rid of the beige. I cleaned off the whole top of that. As you know, if you follow D3, that is a big no-no up top there. Looks cleaner, modern, more contemporary. Opens this up. Spray painted this. I did a, it's like a hammered metal. It comes in a can. And I taped everything off and taped the signature off and taped up in there. It came out really, really good. Over here, as you can see, what I did is I added 3 shelves. And all we did was take a little bit of quarter round, glue it down, and all that clutter and mess that was over the cabinetry is now a signature wall piece. So, when they tell you don't do this at home, try this at home. You can do this yourself, don't you worry. Just clean it up. It's modern. The gray is great. And what I'm going to do is come back through with the bottom cabinet down here, and then also the backsplash, and do it in a mint green, accented off this gray and all this white and some tan. It's going to be perfect. Hope you've enjoyed.